Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I've got a pretty decently sized grocery haul. I'll run through the pricing and the meal plan. I went to Coles because my partner got a flyby spend where you spend $60 4 weeks in a row and you get 10,000 flyby points. And I also went to my green grocer and butcher and my Asian grocer. That's where I got my flat rice noodles from. They were $4 for this pretty big pack. I got some pork mince for I think $9.50 a kilo. Beef mince, I don't quite remember how much, but I know the quality is so much better than Coles and Woolies. And T-bone steaks were $20 at my butcher. $20 a kilo. Coles and Woolies normally sell them for about $30 a kilo, so I love getting it from my butcher. Coles, we picked up some pasta shells for $1, some feminine products, thickened cream, and tomato paste. I'm going to be making a creamy tomato-based beef pasta as one of my meal prep ideas. That's why I've got my 1 kilo of beef mince there. And I've also got a big bag of spinach, which I'm going to toss into the pasta. I grabbed the jumbo bag. It looks like it's a lot, but it wilts down. So that's an easy way for me to get in some more veggies. I also like to add in some onions and carrots as well. These black fungus mushrooms I got from the Asian aisle at Coles. They were supposed to be marked to clear, but when I scanned it, it scanned full price and I didn't realize until I got home. So that was a little bit annoying for me, but we grabbed them. Also grabbed some Greek yogurt pouches as a little snack for my partner. They were, I think, 40% off. Also grabbed some pistachios here as another little snack. Shredded cheese, we needed to get some because we are completely out at home, and that was $9.50. Cheese is so expensive nowadays. Fruit and veg wise, I got a lot from my green grocer. Grapes, these were $5 a kilo. Grapes are out of season now, I think, but these ones were quite cheap because I think they were from America. I didn't really realize that until my partner pointed it out, but we grabbed them anyways. They look good. They feel nice and crisp, and the stems are nice and green, so I like that. Grabbed more of these mushrooms, Muji mushrooms, I think. 3 for $4. So I like to add that in my stir fries. I'm going to be making a pork mince stir fry with these Muji mushrooms with some Sanchoy bao sauce. I'm going to add in some spring onions and probably some brown onions as well. And we're going to serve that on top of these fresh flat rice noodles. I will film all of the cooking clips for you guys. I'll probably share them either at the end of this video or maybe I'll do it in a separate video depending on how long this overall clip is. I also got some tomatoes from my green grocer for, I think, $3 a kilo, which is quite cheap. A lot cheaper than my local Coles anyways. And then I got this tteokbokki sauce. It's sweet and spicy. If you guys watched my grocery haul from last week, I bought these sweet potato tteokbokki rice cakes. I haven't cooked it yet, but I'm planning to cook it with this sauce. This is why I grabbed it. I also grabbed some of these Asian stock cubes. They were 90 cents at my green grocer. I know Coles and Woolies sell them for $1.10 for each packet as well. My green grocer sells it for 90 cents, so it's a lot cheaper. And I've also seen some other grocers that sell it for 60 cents, I believe. So it just depends. So I grabbed this. I grabbed the far one, which I usually really, really like. These two, I think I've had this one before. This is a new one. I think it's duck based. Not too sure, so it looks interesting, so I grabbed that. I also grabbed some, I think they're Hawaiian or Japanese purple sweet potatoes. I grabbed 5, so I think just under a kilo. Garlic I tend to grab at Coles because I prefer Australian garlic over Spanish or Chinese garlic. It's just something that I prefer. It tends to be stronger in flavor, in my opinion. And I just prefer locally grown. So that was, I think, $1 at Coles, $30 a kilo for garlic. Now, oranges. I grabbed 3 navel oranges at my green grocer for $1.50 a kilo. And then I grabbed these Cara oranges. I only grabbed 2 for $2.50 a kilo. So in total, I've got 5 oranges. Oranges are in season, so they are on the cheaper end at the moment. I also grabbed 2 large zucchinis for $3 a kilo. That's essentially a whole kilo because the zucchinis are quite large. And then I grabbed 2 lemons for $1 at my green grocer. And I also grabbed some wet wipes. This is $4, I think. And then I saw this street food kitchen pad thai sauce at Coles. It was half price, so I figured I'm gonna grab this. I'm probably not gonna use this week, but I can add it into next week's meal plan since I needed to get to that $60 spend at Coles anyways, and it was 50% off. So yeah, it comes with a few little different pouches. You guys will probably see this in next week's meal prep video. And if you guys watched last week's video, I needed conditioner, but my partner grabbed shampoo instead. Luckily, this week, the same bottle was on sale still, so we grabbed the conditioner this week. So it was $8.50 for 850 mils. Some normal sanitary items, so toothpaste. I don't know how much that is, but it was on sale. It's the Colgate Optic White Purple. Also grabbed some roll-ons and foaming hand wash. You guys can see there in the corner. So stay tuned, guys. I'm going to add on those cooking clips next for you guys to have a quick overview of what I make. And the T-bone steaks are just going to be simply grilled with some sauteed spinach and tomatoes. But I'll see you guys in the next clip. Hello guys, welcome to the cooking segment of my video. I've got some onions, carrots and garlic that I've minced up. I'm going to start by sauteing it in a little bit of water. You can use oil or fat if that's what your preference is. On this particular occasion, I'm just sauteing with water. Once that's done, I lightly season it with salt and then I add in roughly about 950 grams worth of beef mince. And I'm just going to cook that through before I start the seasoning process. So as you can see here, I've got probably about a teaspoon worth of the pink Himalayan salt. Then I'm going to toss in my thickened cream. Now I generally add in a little bit of water into the little can and then shake it up just to remove all of the cream that is stuck down the bottom. I've also got this jar of tomato paste. I bought it in bulk. I'm not going to use it all. So what I'm going to do is portion them out into Ziploc bags and toss the rest into the freezer. So I've probably got a third of the jar left, which I'm going to toss into this particular meal. And then I'm going to season it with some other herbs and spices as well. I generally do the same thing I do with the cream jar. So once I've spooned out as much as I can, there's obviously going to be some that's stuck down the bottom. That's where I add in a little bit of tap water, shake the jar up and then pour it out. Seasoning wise, I add in probably about 2, maybe 1.5 teaspoons of thyme. Paprika, I generally go ham with this. I love having smoked paprika in my meals, and I think I even added a little bit more off camera. But my tips are just taste as you go because you're probably going to have a different palate to me. So just adjust the seasoning according to your taste and preferences. Sauce is now ready. What I'm going to do is chuck in my spinach. Now I know it looks like a lot, but for this particular meal, I generally add in pretty much the whole bag of the baby spinach at Coles, and I buy the jumbo pack because once it cooks down, it's barely there. As you guys can see, you saw so much in the pot and it's wilted down to just a few little spinach leaves scattered here and there. Then I pour that on top of my pasta shells and do a light sprinkling of cheese. And that's the finished product. I'm going to share the next meal with you next. So as you can see here, I've got some beef fat that I've cut into small little chunks, and I'm going to render that down to generate some oil, I guess, of oil replacement to cook my steak. Veggie wise, I've got a few wedges of tomatoes, a handful of baby spinach and some garlic. The steak, I've just seasoned it lightly with a bit of salt and garlic powder, and then I've cooked it in its own fat, the fat pieces that I rendered down from the start. Once the steak is cooked, I take that out and then I saute my tomatoes, garlic and spinach in the beef juices and fat, and then I just serve that on the side with my T-bone steak. Sometimes I'll have a sirloin steak. It really depends on the week. So in this next meal, it's going to be a meal prep idea, so it serves 4 to 5 serves. I've got a little bit of olive oil in here. I'm tossing in my brown onions, which I've diced. So I saute that a little bit, add in a little bit of salt as well. And in the meantime, I've got my mushrooms sitting on the side, ready to go. But first, I'm going to start by cooking my pork mince, probably 75% through before I add in my mushrooms. So I break that down. You can even add in a little bit of garlic as well if you like, or chives, but I didn't have any on hand. So now I'm going to add in my mushrooms. These are my mushrooms of choice, but you can easily replace it with the normal, I think, button mushrooms you can get at Coles, or even straw mushrooms from your local Asian grocer. But this is what I've chosen for this particular week. So I kind of just mix that around a little bit. Sometimes I'll pop the lid on just to help the mushrooms cook through a little bit more. Now, because it is a mushroom, it releases quite a bit of liquid, but that's completely fine. I like this particular meal saucy anyways, so the extra liquid that comes out from the mushrooms doesn't really bother me. Then I add in this Lee Kum Kee San Choi Bao sauce mix that through, let it simmer for a little bit, and you're pretty much done. I like to serve this on top of some flat rice noodles, pho noodles, that you can get at your local green grocer. Thanks for watching.